So I started getting my in the loan business in 2008, right when the market crashed, and I was the owner of a bar and grill in Colombia.
Okay.
So when I had my first kid, it was tough to kind of like do the bar business, come home at 4 in the morning, smelling like liquor and just smoke. My wife didn't like it at all, so I decided to change careers, sold my part of the business to my brother, and walked away. Started a mortgage business full time in 2010 with USA Mortgage as a loan officer.
That's cool. We are back for another loan officer spotlight, except this isn't just a loan officer. This is a regional manager, and he comes from the same place that Dylan comes from, which is Columbia, Missouri.
Yes, sir.
Reza Abadi, thanks for being here, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
Thanks for being here. So, we are obviously out here in the middle of the ocean, as we've mentioned on these previous interviews, and but I already mentioned you're from Columbia, Missouri, but it's not just Columbia where you do business. So, tell us a little bit about your business. You are the regional manager, right?
Yes.
Over multiple areas. So, what are those areas?
So we are in Missouri, south of Missouri, by Arkansas, northeast, northwest Arkansas, and also in Illinois. We have an office in Lincoln, Illinois.
Okay.
Great loan officer down there. We used to be in Kansas and different states too, but we kind of like shrunk down with the market. So we are focusing only on those 3 states for now.
Awesome. For now. Keyword. Keyword.
Yes.
How long have you been in the business?
So I started with USA Mortgage in 2010.
Okay.
Before that, I was part-time. I was worked like closing one loan a year as a part-time loan officer. Of course, I started getting my in the loan business in 2008, right when the market crashed, and I was the owner of a bar and grill in Colombia.
Okay.
So when I had my first kid, it was tough to kind of like do the bar business, come home at 4 in the morning, smelling like liquor and just smoke. My wife didn't like it at all, so I decided to change careers, sold my part of the business to my brother, and walked away. Started a mortgage business full time in 2010 with USA Mortgage as a loan officer.
That's cool. What type of bar was it?
It's a sport bar, actually. So we started that business about, I think it was like 5 or 6 years before that. It was a pizza shop. My 2 brothers and I, we bought this pizza shop. We bought an oven for $5,000, and our strategy was to stay open till 4 in the morning, deliver pizza, because we live in a college town. Yes. So, and we learned a lot about wearing a lot of hats in the business. So we were drivers, the cashiers, all of it ourselves, and then we expanded that to a small bar. Then it became a 7,000 square feet bar and grill.
Does it still exist today?
Oh yeah, yeah. My only brother, Musa, my middle brother, actually owns it.
Really?
By
What's the name of it?
Southside Pizza and Pub.
Southside Pizza and Pub. And pizza in Colombia is kind of like a big deal. Like it's like Shakespeare's, I mean, that everybody knows about. But it's a testament that you guys are still around, and you started that business back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
He's doing great. Yeah.
Do you miss it?
To be honest, not really. I was in restaurant business, but it's not for me. It's I just every once in a while I go there and toss the pizza, put some sauce on it. But
keep the knife sharp. Huh?
Oh yeah, but I mean, other than that, no. I mean, it was good while lasted for me at least. When you have kids and family, bar business is not it anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so you mentioned a family. What's your family size?
So I got 4 kids.
Okay.
My beautiful wife Becca, who's here with me, and then we have 4 kids, 16 years old, and then it goes after that to a 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So we got busy the last 3. Took a break for the first one. We're like, okay, if 1 kid is good, then we decided to have the second one, and then the 3rd and 4th one happened. So yeah. But yeah, they're awesome. Keep us pretty busy.
I imagine. So you shifted from a crazy business in the restaurant business to the mortgage business. You started as a loan officer. How long were you originating before you then became in leadership?
So I want to say, so I was part of the branch in USA Mortgage, and I think I stopped completely originating in 2017.
Okay.
So I became a full-time branch manager back then, and it was just hard to especially as we were growing a little bit, hiring more people. So I stopped producing 2017. So I produced probably about 7 years with USA Mortgage before I stopped completely.
So you've only been at one company?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
yeah.
unique.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. I mean,
That's cool.
It's been a lot of up and down, not just with the company, with
Yeah,
the
of course,
industry
of
itself,
course,
but
yeah.
that's part of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, now that you have now shifted into full-time leadership, and that's been your thing now for basically the same amount of time that you were an originator, so you've done a little bit, probably almost equal time now. What would you say is, kind of your MO? What is it that makes you different, that makes you successful, that has allowed you to grow?
I think mostly focusing on people. In my opinion, the clients are great. The realtors are amazing, and yeah, you have to do an amazing service for them. But I think as a leader, you need to focus on your people in your company and your group. I think keeping your employees and your team happy helps to keep your realtors and your clients happy.
Yeah.
So as a leader, my job starts. They are my customers, my employees, my loan officers, my operation team are my clients, and I need to make sure they're happy and they're doing a good job, and so I mostly put most of my focus over there, and the rest of it, they actually become a tool to take care of the clients and the realtors
it kind
themselves.
of passes down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
being that you've been with USA Mortgage for your entire tenure, clearly you believe in this model. If somebody that's not familiar or knows it but doesn't really know it, why USA Mortgage?
So I recruit. I was in the heat of recruiting a couple of years ago, and we had like, I don't know, at one point 85 loan officers in our region, and I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And every time I got on the phone, they asked me, why should we come to your company?
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of cliches out there because we got great marketing. Yes, we do. We have great this.
Yeah.
But honestly, the answer is we are a small, big company. We are not this huge corporation that you have to jump through 1,000 hoops to get an answer.
Yeah.
And we're not just a small company that cannot do things.
Yep.
So we are right in the middle, and our leadership is pretty simple. Like, we don't have so many steps to jump through.
Yeah.
I always tell the loan officers, you can be creative in this company compared to other companies.
Yeah.
It's not our way or the highway. We listen, we run it by the leadership on top and see if it's going to work for our company, for our model, and then we adapt to it.
Yeah.
So you're not just a number here.
Yeah.
You're not somebody who's just going to have to follow directions. You can actually have your own mindset, your own ideas, and we actually use them if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
it's a small company with big company resources.
Yes.
But not so, which is what differentiates it from the small ones, because there's resources.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, I love that answer. If somebody, you're on the phone with a potential recruit, another loan officer at another company who's considering it, and you describe all of that to them, which is great. But let's take it one step further.
Sure.
Now, why am I, as a loan officer, going to have more success with your group?
Well, I think we follow the same model as USA Mortgage does, pretty much. Being there, answering the phones, making sure we help our loan officers at any time. I mean, honestly, like our closer in our region, or my operation manager, they work weekends after hours. I mean, they're a machine. They constantly help everybody out. I know it sounds so simple to say that. Like, everybody's like, well, our region, does this mechanic things that nobody else does. No, the answer is pretty simple. We are there for our loan officers and our operation team when they need us, and we are constantly looking to improve our team and making it better.
Yeah.
And also, we have I think personally, we have a pretty close, tight relationship together as a region.
Yeah.
We stay friends, and we hang out together, so and that helps a lot.
It's a family,
So
right?
family, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you probably arguably spend more time with the people you work with than your actual family in
Absolutely.
many cases. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be that way. And
100%.
not only that, the stress levels tend to get very high in our business. So if you can't have some fun,
Exactly.
why are we doing
And you got to be there for tough times too. So I mean, it's just being there for each other.
Yeah. Do you have any memorable stories that you can remember, whether it's a client story, maybe it's a loan officer story, that just something you'll never forget?
Man, I honestly, I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, there are so many things that I've done. I think the recruiting part of it, like traveling everywhere, and I think it's not just one story. The biggest part of it is like traveling to a new place to hire a loan officer, and I think most people think that You go there, just like a realtor, you go take him to a lunch one time and you have lunch with him and it's over. My favorite part of it is you go meet somebody and that's just opening the door and then continuing after that to follow up with them. But I mean, one specific story, to be honest, I can't, on top of my head, I don't know which one to choose to tell you.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. I mean, I can give you one, because now that I've gotten to know Dylan, you know, you brought him from an order taking world.
Yes.
And now here he is in a world where you have to hunt, and which is challenging. It's hard. A lot of people it's not for them. And that here he is, only 8 years in the business, and he's a top producer at this company, at a pretty big company on the President's Club.
Oh yeah,
there's a success story for you.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and honestly, Dylan is. I remember when I hired him, he came from a company, it was a lead generating company, and we sat down. I was like so skeptical of hiring him at first. I was like, I don't know, man. I've had good luck with that company, you know. But when he came in, and he's he's a machine.
Yeah.
And he's that consistency that he has every day. Comes to work, follow up, like he sticks to the plan, and he doesn't let anything take his focus
He's
away.
got a lot of discipline, I can tell you that.
God, yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're, you know, let's say in a magical world, the business shifts back, and I think there's a possibility of that later this year into next year. What's next for your region? Like where do you want to go? Is it do you want to grow into new markets? You know, what do you think? I
think one of the mistakes, one of the things that maybe we jumped too quick to it was going to new markets and hiring like single loan officers in those new markets. That's the toughest part, because it's hard to build a culture when you have one person and they feel like they're out of the island by themselves. So one of the things we are trying to do is to fill in where we are, add more loan officers and build those markets up even more, because there's a lot more potentials over there. And I think we are looking to do like more of our inside sales, direct to consumer kind of business a little bit more. I've been doing that for years, and I think I want to expand that more.
Really?
A little bit.
Talk about that. So what does that look like from a loan officer's perspective?
So I mean, I think that's the best of the both worlds. So we generate leads from our locations that we have in our region, and then we give those leads to our outside sales loan officers. So these are the people that they're not getting otherwise. The clients are going online, and it helps them build relationship with the realtors because they give them as a referral, and also it helps us get more business. So we have a lot of our outside sales using our resources from inside sales.
That's good to know. So you are creating leads for your loan officers.
100%. Oh yeah.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. Is there any one you have more success in one arena of lead driving than another, or
the outside sales versus inside sales?
Yeah.
I mean, the outside sales is always going to be the champion of the two, because you have the ones who go hunt to eat what they have, and I think that mentality is definitely more successful. Doesn't matter how much technology is growing, or yes, leads are great, they come in, people rate shop you constantly, but at the end of the day, the loan officer has a better relationship with the realtor, with the client, more knowledgeable, he's going to win. And those are the outside sales loan officers, because typically they work harder to build themselves and develop themselves compared to an inside sales loan officer. I'm not saying that the inside sales loan officers are bad. I'm just saying that.
Well, you're going to develop them into outside sales.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's get personal. So you've got the family. You used to be in the bar business. You know, I know you because I've known you for years. You work probably a lot of hours, but you've got to have a life outside of work. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're outside of work?
So that's the sad part, and I always talk to everybody about that. They're like, so what are your hobbies? Nothing. I mean, I know this sounds weird, but honestly, I don't golf, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't go bars, I honestly don't do. I was thinking that I was like, man, that is kind of depressing a little bit. I mean, good God, so I go to work, and then I come home and 4 kids, I hang out with my family and I spend time with them, and that's the end. It's been like that for years, and I know I need to find a new hobby, man. I need to.
Well, I'm betting your family is probably the hobby.
Oh yeah,
by default.
But I mean, at the same time, it's good to have hobbies because you can incorporate your family to your own. My son's almost 17, so I can take him golfing, and I'm just.
Are your kids into sports?
Yeah, so my son is a basketball, my 16-year-old, and then the little ones. They're too small to get into sports, and I'm one of those people that says, if you're gonna do something, have a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it when people like put their kids in sports or do things because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
my other son, he's going to football. Actually, this will be his first year. He'll be 10 years old in February. So, and then my daughter is going to volleyball.
Awesome.
And my youngest one, I still
Fun.
undetermined. Yeah,
Fun.
she still likes to just roll around. So that's
Yeah.
which is good.
Likes to play with Barbies and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I like
probably.
to stay that age.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Last question: do you have like a motto or kind of something that just keeps driving you in your business?
I mean, not a single motto, but my philosophy is don't ever give up. Like I am you may get punched out, you may get knocked out, but just make sure you get back up again. Like I think that life has a lot of ups and downs, and when you go look back years from back, the hardest moments of your life, that at that moment was like, I can't get through this. This is tough. This is impossible. When you go and look back at those moments, you're like, man, that wasn't that bad actually. It was actually a good memory. Like, so at the moment when you're dealing with such hardship or things are tough or you're defeated, that's fine. It happens to everybody. It's part of life. I mean, just take a deep breath and then get back at it again. So that I think that's one of my. I'm a king of comebacks, I call myself. So
Okay, there you go, the king of comebacks. That's amazing.
Yes.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
I mean, my emails are great, but I mean, usually text messages or calling me. Anyway, like email, call, cell phone, anything that way. I'm open.
What is your cell phone?
573-864-5598.
Awesome. And now I know when I come visit Colombia, I need to have you take me to this pizza place.
You would love it, man.
I would. Thanks, brother.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, buddy.